Hey everybody, thanks so much for being here. If you are back again and you watched the first video, thank you so much for making it to the second. That's awesome. I'm so glad to have you along on the journey. You're gonna see me sip some tea through this. I actually have like a massive headache and some stomach stuff going on right now, side effect of being human things. But I'm so excited to share some of these things that I still just want to get this out. So I'm here just really being in what is. So I'm in my comfies, I'm in my cozies. I'm sort of, if you know me, this rarely ever happens. So I'm just sort of chilling with you guys as we watch this. I invite you to get comfy, take a couple minutes, land here in the now with me, and we're going to talk about giving ourselves permission to do it wrong, which I find so helpful and so important because we've become enslaved to this idea of doing it right, like we even know what that is, because there's so many different judgments of what that is, and it's just kind of crazy to me because that whole deal is all in our head. It's all made up. It's a projection based on our past stories and past experiences of how we think the future should go, which is hilarious because when you get in that, we're so caught up worrying about past and future that we're actually not even in the now. So even if there was a right way, wouldn't it be hard to do that if we weren't present? Things that I think of during the day. But I'm just really seeing in my own life that when we are able to drop this need to do it right, to show up in a certain way, to say a specific thing, then it's just freedom. We get to just be, and that's actually where we all feel most connected. It's one of the reasons I've really wanted to do these videos and keep doing these videos unscripted and without a plan, because when I come here and I do this with no plan, I'm just in my heart, I'm saying literally what's coming up as it's coming to me about this, and I believe that everybody can really feel that. I believe when we can connect heart to heart, that's very easily translated over. It's like if I were to show up here and I have this whole plan and this whole list of bullet points, and I'm sitting here trying to memorize this and tell you all these things that I came up with, I'm not connected with anything that's going on in the moment, and we're just having a logical conversation that's sort of lost a lot of the deeper meaning. And that's one of the things we're trying to cultivate here, is cultivate presence, cultivate an acceptance of who we are, where we are today in this moment, because that's all we are, and just keep showing up and see what comes out of that. So yeah, just really letting that sink in. And it's funny because it actually this came up for me even with making these videos. It's like I have this concept of just talking about giving ourselves permission to do it wrong. I've been working on that in my own life, and whoa, the stuff that's gone on to that is kind of crazy. Videos for another time. I lost where I was going. Hilarious. Oh, making this. So I thought originally all these videos I'm going to shoot just one single time, because I'm thinking of them sort of like a meditation. It's like whatever comes up is just part of it. So, if the dogs go off in the background, if somebody walks through, if a phone call comes in, whatever, it's just part of it. Because if there's no right way to do something, then it doesn't matter. There's not all these expectations and rules and measures and the little box that I have to fit into, right? And then, so I go through this whole thing and I make this video this morning, and I'm like, yes, one shot, no matter what happens, I'm gonna do it, and being able to do this wrong is actually still coming up in the background. We have these crazy neighbors, and I'm like, what if today is the day? What if today is the day that one of them shoots each other or something? I promise the backstory is not nearly as interesting as that last comment made it sound. But it's like, so I'm like, okay, no, like it's all good. Like whatever happens, happens. I'm gonna send this on anyways. And then I finished and I played it back and actually had a technological difficulty, good old Mac here with me. And some of the sound didn't come through on the video, or it was like really clipped. So there was some things that just weren't making sense. It's like not all the words kept up. And I was like, oh, well this might actually not be that effective if you can't understand anything I'm saying to you. So I was like, okay, maybe it'll be okay to make it again. And I realized I had already so quickly, in the giving myself permission to do it wrong, created another rule about how to do it right, which was only shoot it once. And that's how sneaky our ego is. Like, as soon as you get a moment of clarity, it's already back in, like, trying to figure something else out. It's insane how fast our minds work to do that. And so then that rule and measure fell away of, like, only doing it once. It's like, okay, there's no right way to do things, so then doing it the one time isn't the right way either. But it's just, so then I was reflecting on that whole, how quickly our minds sneak in and get us, because it's only ego that seeks to get rid of ego. If that makes sense and you guys follow me. Unconditional love and presence just accepts. There's no good or bad, right or wrong, this or that, black or white. All of that falls away when we come to that container space that we're talking about and just be the space that everything is coming up in. So that's sort of my insight so far. There's definitely more stuff coming up. I'm going to finish this sweet tea here, if any of y'all are wondering. Cut up about an inch of ginger root and bring it to a boil, simmer it for 10 minutes, and it will knock out any headache or stomach issue you guys have going on. That's your hot tip for this video, and I hope to see you next time. I'm really excited to keep taking this journey and keep showing up, being willing to do it wrong, if that's a thing. So, love you guys. Oh, if this won't trim, this will be really interesting. I'm actually still logging back in here because I can't shut it off. Cool. We'll see.